And welcome to Serving Up the D, November 13th, 2023. We are talking Detroit Lions. The Lions go to LA.
Gotta win. Got
Got
the
a
win,
road
baby.
win.
7-2. 7 and
Nice
2.
road win.
Who'd have thunk it?
MCDC with some huge balls.
That's 7. That's 7. That's 7. I got a 7 in my. Oh, yeah. Damn,
4th and 2. Going for it. We don't want to give the ball back. We want to win the game.
Couldn't give the ball back.
They were going to score. Because I will get into the defense. We will
score.
get into the defense.
Yeah, we will.
The defense is atrocious.
Yeah, but let's just.
4th and 2. Goff scanning. He didn't even. It wasn't even like 4th and 2. Quick, get it back, drop, set up the play, hit the guy you know you're going to hit. It was. He had to go through. Boom. 1, 2, 3.
He went
back to Laporta. Boom. Huge play. Sam Laporta is a stud. They are going to pay that man his money. It's going to be a lot of money to pay to him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, star, superstar. When you talk best receivers in the league, his name is on that list. And it better be or you're a moron. That man is a star. Offensive line, great. I think Goff is like the 4th QB in time sacked this year. Pressures. The offensive line's amazing. The offense is awesome. J-Mo is an amazing right guard, apparently. He can block. He can block downfield. I love it. Just amazing. The team is awesome. He had a TD called back. But hey, he caught the ball. It didn't count, but he caught it. So let's all act like he's fucking Jamar Chase.
All 3 targets, he caught him.
And he can block. Did you know he could block? He laid a block.
Hey, no block, no rock.
Montgomery scored. He blocked downfield. He blocked his guy and then moved on to the next guy. I love you, J-Mo. I want you to have 100 yards and 5 receptions every week, but so far it's just not happening. But he's not targeted enough. Well, guess what? There's a reason he's not targeted a whole bunch.
There's no trust. He drops
Anyways,
the ball.
let's move on to the players who actually contribute every single snap, all the time. Jahmyr Gibbs, good. Laporta, star. St. Brown, star. Sewell, star. Goff, star. They need to pay him now because it's only getting more expensive.
Should have paid him at the buy.
But the offense, great. The fact that we had to go for it on 4th and 2 and couldn't just kick a field goal with 1:40 left or whatever it was, that sucks because that's going to come back to hurt you later on when you're playing teams like the Eagles and stuff. When the Chargers get the ball in 5 straight possessions and score 5 touchdowns, not great. Okay?
That's bad. Wait, that's bad?
Where Hutchinson, I get it. He's doubled, whatever. You got to win. You got to get to the quarterback. You need to get... It's been 3 games since he's got a sack. I'm sorry, but the number 2 overall pick in the draft needs to get sacks. And I don't care. You don't see this other guys doing this shit. I understand they should have made a move at the deadline, and it showed yesterday. Yesterday was you should have tried to do something at the deadline on the defensive line. And I don't want to hear about, the locker room guys, we need a gel and a fit and all these other things and sayings and stuff that you say when you're a coach and a GM about your team because you fucked up and you didn't get somebody. They should have.
Don't care. Don't care your windows now.
Your window is now, and they fucked up, and now they've got a defense who can't get home ever. They don't get pressure ever. And they let their secondary get shredded. I see Lions fans, their secondary's not good. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
What?
The secondary's been fine. When you can't get home every goddamn snap, come on. But Aaron Glenn's a head coach. Whoa, yeah, sure he is. No, Ben Johnson's a head coach. And he's gone. He's going to be coaching the team that you beat yesterday next year.
Yeah, when you can't convince me they couldn't have made the same move that the 49ers made for Chase Young. I don't care if Chase Young's an asshole. I don't care what your issue is with Chase Young's attitude. You have him for the next, 7-2? You have him for the next 8 or 9 games plus the playoffs.
I would have given up more like
that's
the
it.
Bears
That's all
did
you
for
needed.
Sweat.
You have two third round picks. Same. And you get him back if he doesn't re-sign with you. It was malpractice on Brad Holmes' part. You can't convince me otherwise. The pass rush and the defense, definitely a concern. You're going to play good quarterbacks in the playoffs. You're going to play quarterbacks similar to Justin Herbert yesterday. You're going to play good offensive lines. If you can't get pressure, you're going to have to outscore them, and that's a dangerous game to play in the playoffs, trying to outscore teams. Because everything changes in the playoffs. Windows get tighter.
Outdoors in Philly in December or January. Good fucking luck.
Or even San Francisco. Well, I guess that's not San Francisco really.
At the moment, the
Santa
Lions
Clara.
still shouldn't have to worry about San Francisco. Just keep winning, and you can avoid having to go there, and they're coming here. But you're not going to Philadelphia and beating the Eagles playing like that on defense. You're not. The game's not going to be 48-42 in Philadelphia in January. It's not going to happen. So you need to stop people, and you need to get Jalen Hurts is going to have to be tackled. And right now, I don't have faith that they can do that. Now I know we're raining on a parade of a team that's 7-2, but the defense is bad. It's gotten progressively worse as the season's gone on.
It felt like I was watching MSU's defense yesterday.
It was just like
the times that they did get pressure and they get their hands on Herbert, they can't get him to the ground. And then he scrambles out, runs for 14 yards in the first down, or scrambles out and makes a big throw.
Well, and when the game came down to the 4th and 2, we both said before they even snapped the ball, we were like, go for it. You have to, because if you give the ball back, they're going to score a touchdown. So if you kick the field goal
you're going to lose.
And you miss, or even if you make it, you lose. You weren't stopping them.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Dan Campbell knew that and was like, fuck this. We are not letting our defense cost us this game. And he went for it. That was the best part. Like,
remember back like a year and a half ago when we thought he was the biggest fucking idiot on the planet?
Well, because he was doing a lot of boob shit, though. He also did a lot of dumb shit. But he learned. But the thing of a guy who knows what he's doing is he learns from his mistakes, and he's learned. He did a lot of stupid shit that beginning when we were, 1-6 last year? He did a lot of dumb shit. And the season before that, where he would do things that you're like, what are you doing? Kicking a field goal. Like, there's certain times when you don't do it. Like, if the Chargers weren't moving the ball, and it was, say you were playing a bad offensive, like they didn't score 5 touchdowns on 5 drives.
And you kick the field
goal, and you play defense, and you hope you stop them. But when you saw what was going on. Everybody in the world saw I hope everybody said go for it on 4th down if you have a brain. Because if they gave the ball back, it was over. The Lions were losing or they was going to OT. Like,
yeah, back to the offense, though. I mean, like you said, you basically stole my thunder. Everything I was going to say. Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta, the offensive line, Ben Johnson, everything. There's so much to love about the offense. You had a 4th and 5.5, almost 6 yards on their opening possession, and they go for it and hand the ball off up the middle to Montgomery.
That tells you you're confident.
And convert.
Confident in your offensive line that they'll bully people. The offense is.
Well, that's also.
And that's why it's.
That's also credit to Jared Goff, though. Jared Goff seeing the safeties being back and saying, "Okay, we're handing it off here, and we're going to roll with whatever happens."
If I hear a Lions fan say Hendon Hooker's the future again, I'm going to punch him in the throat. Honestly, Hendon Hooker should never ever see the field for the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff should be extended today because it's like you said, it's not getting any cheaper. It needs to be done now. Like.
They're going to have to pay a lot of people here in the coming year and a half, 2 years.
But it goes back to the defense. I love this team. I've never enjoyed on Sunday in my whole life getting up and going, yes, the Lions are on today. I cannot wait to watch it. I love the fact that they get all these 4 o'clock games, these primetime games. I get to watch all the 1 o'clock games on Red Zone. It's awesome. But then you watch the defense and you go, we didn't do anything at the deadline. And there was guys that they could have traded for. Montez, like, are you kidding me? That none of the stuff that was given up was not worth, like, you could do it. Make these moves. And okay, maybe Young said, I don't want to go to Detroit. I'd rather go to San Francisco. And that was the reason that he went there. And he didn't come to, maybe Detroit did make a offer and it was just like, he'd rather go here than there.
I don't believe
Well,
that.
I'm just saying maybe.
I think we would.
But then why didn't we try and get Sweat? I would have given up the same thing, or more. I would have moved. I would have given him different stuff. Like, you're talking about a first-round pick grade player,
or even Brian Burns from Carolina.
Anybody to help out.
Somebody,
and I get it.
Somebody that's a competent pass
Houston
rusher.
And all these, we can get them back and all this. And I'm like, okay, great.
I know.
But now you're just hoping when you could have had something to play.
Hope is not a strategy.
And then you just see the whole line. We should try and go get Sue out of the mothballs. Sure. Okay. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Go get him.
Fine. As a depth
guy, Go get him.
Sure.
Put him in there on rundowns and let him go. Okay, sure. But it doesn't solve our edge rush issues.
It's bothersome.
This team is so good for the first time in our lives, that I don't want it to all fall apart because we lose some stupid game in the playoffs because we can't stop anybody. The offense has a bad day, we're fucked. The offense goes out and can't produce 30 points, we're screwed.
You sent me that tankathon thing today when we were picking what they got us at 30th. Yep. Give up a first-round pick. It's basically a second-round pick.
Exactly.
Carolina wanted a first-round pick for Burns. Give it up.
Because you're getting a player who's a first-round talent anyway. So you're hoping to find a guy in the draft, or you can get a guy that you already know can play. Like I never. When you're a good team, draft picks don't matter.
Nope.
You don't see the Patriots all those years winning all those games going, hey, man, we really need to keep that first-round pick. It means a lot to us, pick 31 or 30. No, it doesn't. Kansas City doesn't care either. These teams go out and get players. We are like now that team. Well, we should have been.
They're operating like a team that winning. They're operating like a team that winning the division is going to be good enough, and getting a home playoff game is going to be good enough.
Well, because that's the standard that we've all set.
They think they're a year away. They think they're a year away still.
There's nothing given. Look at players get hurt all the time. Nothing is given. We have healthy guys and we can go for it now and fuck.
Look at the G-Men. They won a playoff game last year and look at them now.
Yeah. Look at the Vikings. They seem to win every game.
The Vikings are pushing us. Josh Dobbs is fucking
who are doing it the past
second coming of Patrick Mahomes.
They're not going to be around. Like there's no
way he continues this.
2 weeks from now, we're going to be going, yep, the division's locked up. But I just don't want to get to the playoffs, win that home first game, and then go to Philadelphia and struggle to move the ball on offense because Philadelphia's defense is good, and we get into a game where we can score 21 points, but the Eagles go out and score 48 and we lose. We get our faces. That's going to suck because we can't stop them.
It's so hard because you're going to want to go, God, I wish we took Jalen Carter. But then you see the last 2 weeks that Jahmyr Gibbs has put up, and you're like, God, I really like having Jahmyr Gibbs on the offense too.
Go to the draft before, though.
Well, Jordan Davis.
Yeah. But no, we got a guy who can block downfield. The amount of Lions fans who love J-Mo for nothing, for no reason. They literally have no reason to love this guy, other than the fact that he was picked 12th and he can run fast.
Guilty.
Like, I wanted him to be good too. I would love nothing more than for J-Mo to go out every week, catch the ball 5 to 6 times, and have 80-plus yards receiving. Every week would be amazing. I would love that. I would love nothing more than that.
Right now.
But the problem is he's shown me nothing to say that he's going to do that. Nothing. He's shown me he can miss more games than he can play. That's pretty much all he's shown. And he drops the ball, and he can block downfield when the other guys catch the ball, which is fun. But so can half of the roster. Reynolds can block downfield. Like, Raymond can block downfield.
All of the roster. All of the roster blocks downfield.
They can all block. They can all do the same thing. Your job was to come here, take the top off the defense, catch the
Catch the ball.
ball.
Be your job was to be Tyreek Hill.
Don't want to say it, but speed in space. That was what he was coming here to do, and yet every time he gets the ball in space, it's dropped. It's dropped. Oh, he caught the ball, but it was a touchdown, and then they called the bad pass. Oh, come on.
It was a terrible penalty call.
Okay, but that happens in every game in the NFL. Superstar top draft pick receivers don't only get 2 targets.
Well, that would be 3.
Your issue is right there. There's a reason that he doesn't get targeted, and it's not because he's an amazing player and they just don't like him.
It's because he doesn't he's a wide receiver that can't catch the football.
But the thing is, in college, he could catch the football. So what the fuck happened? Between catching the ball and being a stud to joining the Lions and just becoming this guy who just does dumb shit.
See him a lot most of the highlights I've seen from him at Alabama, you watch a hell of a lot more football than I do. Most of the highlights I've seen was just him catching deep balls.
He would also but he would catch the ball. You could run a little slant, drag route, get him the ball, and he would run. And I get it. The NFL's not the same. NFL's not the same. You're not doing that. You're not beating a guy. You're not running across the field wide open and catching the ball and burning everybody. You're playing against athletes that are just as fast as you. Everybody who says speed, he's so fast. 1, he's not Tyreek Hill. Nobody is. And 2,
nope.
Everybody in the league is fast. They're all fast. They all run 4.2s. Like, they all run 4s. Like, this isn't like he's going up against these guys who are just these fat schlubs. Defensive linemen are running that. Like, I don't want to hear about it. Honestly, it's just like, why are we talking about this guy? He's just a guy on the roster. Like, you talk about Raymond or Reynolds or these guys, they contribute way more. Yet we don't give them half of the time that we do talking about fucking J-Mo like we're doing it right now.
It says volumes that they went out and traded for a receiver at the deadline.
It does.
As to what they think of him.
It tells you that they don't trust him. Or something's going on there. He ain't making it to a second contract here. I just hate Lions fans who are just so on his nuts. They lick his toes. Like, come on. What has the guy shown you that you need to be this defensive about him?
I just don't see him ever turning it around. I mean, I think he can be better.
I would love it.
He'll be better.
I would love it.
He'll be better, but I don't think he'll ever be what we thought he was going to be.
He's never gonna live up, I don't think, to the number 12 pick. When we could have had help where we needed it. But again, you can't live life like that. But
smartest guy in the room.
It just sucks that what you want him to be and what he can do, what you thought he could do, would have been so amazing for this offense. But again, it is what it is. The offense is still fucking rolling. We don't need him. We don't. He doesn't add, like, they don't need him. They have guys that do the same fucking thing. And now you throw in DPJ, who I think is a good wide receiver.
Once he gets up to speed with the offense, man, you'll see less and less of number 9.
Oh, yeah. No, DPJ is going to be out there all the time. Like, he's a good wide receiver. He was a good wide receiver in Cleveland. He wasn't getting the ball because you've got guys who were. And they ran it a lot. The Lions do the same thing. He's going to be out there. He'll catch the ball. He has good hands. He'll make plays. J-Mo's just nothing.
Make plays.
He's nothing. J-Mo is nothing. I don't want to hear about it. Just apparently he's a right guard. Like I said, he can block. But the Lions are awesome. If the defense could just figure out...
7-2. You can't take away 7-2.
It just sucks that I'm worried about the defense. There's issues there that are bright that they need to figure out. They got to figure out how to get pressure.
It's on Aaron Glenn to figure out how to get a pass rush.
Whether
it's through a blitz, whether it's through exotic blitz packages or what. But you're gonna have to get home on these blitzes.
You got to at least create pressure because Jalen Hurts will kill you. We won't beat him. If he has all day to sit back there and run around if he has to, we're fucked.
Yeah, because Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton are not going to run with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown for 7 seconds. No. They're just not.
You got to get home.
You can't expect them to.
Be it change up the packages, do whatever you got to do, but you got to figure out a way to get pressure on the quarterback, because if you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, we're toast. As we saw yesterday, that the Chargers
they tried to blitz.
Eckler.
They tried to send Anzalone a bunch of times, and
he only one time in the first half he got in there, and then that was basically it. And it was, they got to figure something out. Where's the Aquaras? Like, come on, like, do they exist?
I got that one terrible roughing the.
So that was the closest they got to getting home.
Yeah,
was getting a penalty. Yay! They got to figure it out. They got to figure out a way to get to the quarterback. They got to create havoc on defense.
Get him on the ground. Get him on the ground when you get there too. You can't just try and grab on him and let him slip out of the pocket.
I'm even okay. Obviously, a guy like Hurts, you're gonna have to get him on the ground. But pocket type quarterbacks, you at least got to get pressure so they're getting rid of the ball quickly. They're not doing what they want to do. If they can't do that, we're in trouble. Like yesterday, we were in trouble. We had to go for it on 4th and 2, where in any other normal circumstance, you kick the field goal, you go up, you play defense for the final minute 30, and you go home with a win. In any other world of football, that's what you're doing. But the fact that the Lions knew, Dan Campbell knew, the whole world knew, we had to go for it on 4th and 2. Because if we didn't, Chargers were getting the ball, and they were down the field.
We're either going to overtime or we're losing.
They were going down the field. So, I know the excitement levels are super high. I'm excited. Like I said, waking up on Sundays and knowing that I get to watch this team play is amazing. But the defense has some major, major issues right now. They need to figure it out, or we're going to go to the playoffs, and we're going to be what the Vikings were last year. Where we go in and we get into a tight game, and the next thing you know, our offense has 3 bad series, and we're down, and we can't score, and that's it. Like, we have one bad day at the office on offense. Our defense ain't picking us up. That's a problem, and they need to figure it out. And that's serving up the D.
Pro style.
What do you got? Anything? Anything left?
Not a thing.
No?
Nothing left in the tank, man.
And we are on?
We're out.
To Chicago.
To Chicago? Chicago?
Chicago.